Welcome to AutoCrib.net Arcturus tutorial. In this video, I will walk you through the purchasing module. To create a new purchase order, navigate to Purchasing, Purchase Orders, New PO. First, the system will look to see if min-max quantities have been entered for each item. If the system detects an item or items without those quantities, you will see the following pop-up box. If you wish to set up the min-max values at a later time, select No, Remind Me Later. Or if you wish to set up the min-max values, select Yes, Set up min-max values. You will then be directed to the Update Min-Max of RoboCrib's screen. Here, you may enter the min and max quantities. When you have finished entering the min-max quantities, select the Update Min-Max button, then click the Close button. You will then be defaulted to the Suggestions tab of the purchase order screen. By default, the Suggestions screen displays items from all cribs and suppliers that are below the max reordering point. The items are grouped first by the crib number, then by the item code, and finally the package quantity. To create a purchase order, start by selecting the desired crib from the Cribs drop-down, or leave the default option, which is set to all cribs. Then, select the reorder method. You may select All, Below Max, or At Below Min. Next, you may review the suggested item list. Please note that you can sort the columns in ascending or descending order. You may use the grid filters to further filter your list. You may also drag and drop columns, as well as resize the columns. When you are ready, select the checkboxes next to the desired items, then click the Add to Order button. To select all the suggested items, click the Add All Lines to PO button. A message will display with the number of items added and the total cost. To continue, you can either click the Purchase Order tab or click the Review Purchase Order button. You will then be directed to the Purchase Orders screen. From the Purchase Order screen, you can review your order and make the following changes. You may edit the reorder quantity fields. You may add additional items to the purchase order by selecting the Add Additional Items button. You may remove items from the purchase order screen by first checking the box next to the item you wish to remove, then selecting the Remove Selected Lines button. You may generate a quote by selecting the Quote button, add a PO note by selecting the Note button, add a Spot Buy item by selecting the Spot Buy button. You may select the Clear All button to remove all suggested items. Finally, you may view and edit line details by selecting the desired item and clicking the Line Details button. From the Line Details screen, you may change the supplier. You may enter an external PO number. You may edit the unit cost, unit price, due date, and promise date. You may add line notes. You may edit the individual bin order quantity. As well as review the item usage. Please note that from the Line Details screen, you may use the right and left arrow buttons located next to the item field to scroll through additional items and view and update their line details. When you are ready, click the Purchase Order tab to go back to the Purchase Orders screen. To create the purchase order, click the Create Purchase Order button. Click OK on the message Purchase Now. When your PO has finished generating, you will be directed to the Edit PO screen, and the PO number will appear in the PO number field. Please note that a separate PO number will be created for each supplier. You may use the left and right arrows next to the PO number field to scroll through the generated POs, or select the drop-down field. From the Edit PO screen, you may complete the following tasks. You may delete the PO by clicking the Delete PO button. You may revise the order quantities by editing the Revised Quantity field, then selecting the Update Purchase Order button. You may generate a quote by selecting the Quote button. You may add a Spot Buy item by selecting the Spot Buy button. You may add an item or delete an item. You may add a PO note. You may also print, export, or email the report. You may edit the supplier, supplier contact information, as well as the ship to address. You may also generate a tag directly from the Edit PO screen. To generate a tag, click the Generate Tag link. You will be directed to the Create Tags screen. From this screen, you may review the list of items and their on-order quantities. Please note that by default, the list will be grouped by crib and item. You may uncheck the Group by Crib Item checkbox to include the bin number column. Enter the quantities you wish to receive into the Receive on Hand or Receive Burn fields. To receive all the items and the quantities, select the Receive All button or Receive All Burn button. To generate the tag, click the Apply button. Click OK on the message Create Tag Now. Click OK on the message Tag has been created successfully. Select the PO number to view the tag number. It will display in the Tag field of the Create Tags screen. This concludes the purchasing module tutorial. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out additional AutoCrib Arcturus tutorials.